Hey folks, thanks for bearing with me. I'm a couple of days late with the review of week 3 of World of Sport Wrestling. However, I've got my notes still, and I remember it well, so let's just get straight into it. First of all, the opening was really awesome. I really love that they're starting to put in promos at the beginning now, because obviously they didn't have anything to sort of harken back to the last week or show forward. You don't want to show too much forward when you haven't established stuff to begin with. So now that they're starting to build in promos at the beginning to sort of whet the audience appetite, I think it's great. All the commentators were doing a great job. Grado and Stu Bennett's office was great. Alex Shane, I have to point out some things because my friend in the business, Logan Storm, friend of the show, has asked me to sort of give the audience some information about Alex Shane specifically. Now, I didn't know about him before his career as a commentator in World of Sport Wrestling. However, being in the business, Logan Storm does. So he debuted in 1995. He trained at Hammerlock by Andre Baker, and he's been involved with TNA and Ring of Honor European tournaments and tours, with promotion and contacts, etc. He's a former Frontier Wrestling Alliance heavyweight and tag champion, and he ran Capital City Pro Wrestling. He's well respected in the business. From what I can tell, he's well respected in the business, so he seems to be an all-round great guy, and he is, to me, an all-round great guy for a reason which I'll bring up later in the episode. It's to do with Dynamite Kid. Okay, so match 1, serious Joseph Parks style Grado is funny, and Shah is a consummate heel, and Shah's great on the mic. I think he's brilliant. I've seen Shah live as well. I think he's just great. Grado's magic managed to shine through even the suit. So Grado gets the living tar beat out of him basically until it goes to a little boy in the crowd, and the lad gives him a Grado hat. He then strips off his suit down to his singlet, and we see not so serious but serious ass kicking Grado. So I've noticed, by the way, I'd just like to notice Grado's ability in the ring and ability on the mic is getting better all the time. Every time I see him, every time I hear from him, he gets better, so it's great. It's funny that the things they cut away from and don't show the audience in terms of the violence, but they did a massive backdrop on the ramp to Shah Samuels, and I thought, and then they just showed it. I didn't think they would show that, because that to me is much more of a dangerous move than stuff that they have cut away from. But anyway, I'm not the promoter. So match 2, Martin Kirby comes out to the loudest boos I've heard from the World of Sport audience, which means he's doing his job really well. So fresh. The heel stuff, which, if you're familiar with wrestling, you've seen it all before. However, the fact that you're not, this show isn't catering to exclusively a wrestling audience. As I've said in last week's episode, it's catering more generally to the kind of folk that watch things on it's the tea time slot on a Saturday, so you'd be watching things like maybe quiz shows or The Cube or something like that, or Ninja Warrior UK. So it's kind of like, I kind of feel like they're trying to go for like everything, like kind of how like Gladiators was in the 90s. There was something else in this that reminded me. CJ Banks reminds me of the Wolfman from Gladiators, just with his looks to the camera and stuff. I think that's brilliant. Anyway, really solid match. Martin Kirby was getting right good boos. Joe Hendry always looks great. Didn't manage to pick up the win, which is fair enough. And also, I noticed on the Facebook and the Twitter, they've uploaded the Rachel Stringer things, which presumably didn't make the cut of the show, but they've uploaded them to the Facebook and Twitter, so you've got the online content as well, which is just, again, it's, there's somebody really smart running this properly, and I like that. Somebody is running this show properly and getting to appeal to everyone, which is, it's just, the way they're doing it is really clever. So I'm organising things at the same. This is why this video is taking so long, because I'm organising things. Anyway, so match 3, and I was excited for this because BT Gunn was tagging with Stevie Boy Xavier against CJ Banks and was she CJ Banks tagging with? I actually can't remember now. I haven't read. That's strange. I don't remember much about the other person though, so I think it was mostly CJ Banks. I do remember that. So BT Gunn's one of my favourites. CJ Banks is great as the guy you love to hate. It reminds me of Wolfman from Gladiators. Yep, I already said that. SoCal Val brought up the fact that Steve Boy Xavier's in a relationship with Kaylee Ray. So that, again, the people that are tuning into it to see Adam Maxted from Love Island are going to get something from that too. So they really are trying to draw everybody in, and I like that. I think they're doing a good job of it. So, CJ Banks did an amazing snap suplex, and the first thing I thought was, that's Shades of Dynamite Kid. And then what did Alex Shane, good guy Alex Shane, say? Shades of Dynamite Kid. So, me and you, Alex Shane, we're, not so different, you and I. Good match with BT Gunn and Stevie Boy picking up the win. I would have liked to have seen more from BT Gunn. The screams that he does when he does a sort of bigger move, it's sort of like I can't do it, but it's like, kind of, and he does that live as well, I can confirm. So it's funny, but it's like good at the same time. It's just, wrestling's entertainment sometimes, I for one like the old wrestling stuff, but the entertainment side of it as well is it's got to be, especially on a show that's airing at tea time on a Saturday, has got to be appreciated as well. Match 4 was Crater versus the winner of the ladder match last week, Gabriel Kidd. Crater absolutely terrifies me. The guy is a behemoth. I'm not sure about the post-production shouting. Like, it does this shouting thing where it's obviously altered in post-production for it to come out as a weird sort of demonic scream. But it's interesting for what it is, and it builds him up as this sort of God only knows what, created in a lab monster. You believe he's a monster as well, and that's what it's all about. If he makes you believe, or rather suspend your disbelief, then he's doing exactly what he's meant to be doing, which is great. So I'm really pleased with it. They also had a segment on the online where Gabriel Kidd was getting brought through on a stretcher and stuff, and it was just, oh my god, it just really ramped up the sort of fact that you're thinking, Christ, this guy's absolutely and Twitter was going mad about it. If there was any of these matches that Twitter was going mad about, it was Crater, because it just made such an impact, and it was a complete, I'm not going to say it was a complete squash match, but it was, Gabriel Kidd got his stuff in, but Crater just destroyed, and it was, folk were tweeting things like, I just witnessed a murder. So, it was just one of those sort of matches, and I for what it was, I enjoyed it. I'd really like to see Crater live. Match 5. Justin Sizem in a heavyweight title match against Rampage. And again, we were talking last week about how perhaps putting the heavyweight title match at the beginning of the card was not the right thing to do. However, they've got it at the end of the card this week, and the crowd loves Justin Sizem, and from the reaction from the crowd in World of Sport Arena to on Twitter. That's another advantage of me doing this show later this week. I get to see people's reaction on Twitter, and a lot of the time it follows what I'm thinking, some of the time it doesn't, but people, he's been quickly becoming a fan favourite. He doesn't really have too much of a gimmick apart from the cape he wears coming to the ring, but the guy moves like a cruiserweight with his aerial stuff, and Shah and CJ came out with Rampage, obviously, as they do every week, and they were selling their injuries from earlier on, which was smart. I love the attention to detail. It's the attention to detail that they're doing really well. It was a great suspense match as well, because Rampage was there's so many late kickouts. You'd think he's going to win it. Like, is he going to win it? Blah blah blah, and that's what you want. But the Banks heist. By CJ Banks, it crawled under the ring and then held onto Justin Sizem's leg as he was trying to get back into the ring, thus making him be counted out. And in the event of a count out, the title obviously reverts back to the current champion. So that was a spot I haven't seen before, but I actually really liked it. It was really enjoyable. Teaser for next week has me hyped up, as it should. There's a women's match and more Crater, and I couldn't be happier. Now, here's my final thought for the day on this particular episode. It's an hour-long slot, and while I know that other programming like Raw and SmackDown runs for longer than an hour, this hour-long slot, excitement all the way through it. You know, there was not a dull moment. There was not any filler. It was all killer, no filler. That's what I like, and that's what I like to see. When was the last time you watched any other competing program and thought, okay, well, you know, you've got the match in the middle, or in the first quarter or the last quarter, or backstage vignettes that aren't really going anywhere, etc., etc., and it's just sort of a rest filler slot to bulk the program out. And I realise it's a longer slot, but when you think about it, you know, the amount of money and talent and writing staff and creative staff, etc., that WWE have, why can't they make their entire slot of programming very, very interesting? Why couldn't they do that? Because World of Sport have, on a lot less of a budget, or I'd imagine on a lot less of a budget, and you know, it's only episode 3, and we're starting to really get behind the characters, and the promos are great, and the commentators are great, and the whole thing is just really, really working. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's only episode 3, and it's a solid 9 out of 10 the entire time. For the duration of the show, solid 9 out of 10. So, you know, you can't complain at that. And you know, and I just think it's an example to show the other wrestling promotions out there that you know, why are you putting in the filler? It's something to think about. That's the final thought for the day. Anyway, thanks once again to Logan Storm for some of the information there, and I'll see you next week.